Hi there. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about recycling a photo that maybe didn't turn out as well as you'd like by giving it sort of an antique paper treatment. So I've got this shot, um, pulled over the side of the road one day, took it. It's a bracket of 3 different exposures. In my opinion, it's just a terrible shot. I wanted to get the silos in, but I've cut the tree off over here to the right, and the photo's crooked, and the sky isn't particularly interesting, and the power line cuts through it, and so there's so many things about the shot I don't like. But maybe with some work in Photoshop, we can turn it into something that's at least interesting. So, first thing I'm going to do is HDRify the shot. So here we have the HDR version of the shot. Again, it's not that great of a shot, so I really don't want to use any kind of crazy exposure fusions or enhancers. I don't want to enhance details because it's already, the level of detail just isn't there. What I do like is the idea of a black and white HDR. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And so now the resulted HDR version of this bracket of 3 photos should be saved back in Lightroom. There's actually a bug in Lightroom here too, where if you click previous import, the auto import features don't count for that. So see, that's not the shot. But so I'll jump to the bottom here, and here's my black and white rendition of this particular photo. And so, it actually does look a little better as a black and white photo as it did as a color photo. It seems to have a little more character, and we tend to excuse some of the flaws in the photo in this way. But I'd like to give it some antique treatment, so let's do that. Now we've got it open in Photoshop. I guess just to get started, looks like we've got a couple little sensor spots here, so I'll get those cleaned up. And maybe there's another few dust spots. And because of the treatment that we're going to apply to this particular photo, this step isn't necessary because we're going to add a lot of noise to it, but it's just something that I like to do. Okay, now that we've got the lens spots out, we're going to jump over to Google Image Search and find a paper texture to use. This one looks pretty good. Not sure what its rights of use are, but this is non-commercial, so we should be fine. Back in Photoshop, we're going to jump over to the Channels tab, and we'll add a new alpha channel. We will paste our texture and scale it to match the size of our image. And we'll apply our transform. Next thing we'll do is we'll, in the Alpha Channels tab, we'll choose the RGB layers to turn on those channels, and we'll turn off the alpha channel we created. And we'll go to Load Selection, and Load Selection on the alpha channel. What will happen is you'll get this sort of texturized version of a selection layer. You can also get that by Open Apple or command clicking the thumbnail here, so as a shortcut, like so. So now we'll jump back over to our primary layer, and we'll notice that that selection is still active. We'll go to a curves, create a curves adjustment layer, and in the curves histogram here, we'll grab a point on the line and then start to pull it left or right or up or down to get the desired effect that we're looking for as far as the texture bleed through. That looks pretty good. You can do more than one point as well, so that gives you sort of a little more granular control over what it'll look like. I think that serves to give us the weathered look that we're looking for. Now at this point, there's two things we can do. I'd like to give a sepia tone to the results, so we can add a photo filter and choose sepia as an option, and then change its density until we get the color we're looking for. There's also a way to do this in Lightroom, so we'll save this out and I'll show you that method. So back in Lightroom, here's our edited image, and we will jump over and fix some of our composition issues. Crop in a little bit. And finally, on the library panel in Lightroom, under presets, there's an option for various styles of photos, and one of the ones in here is a sepia tone, black and white creative. I like it. It's a little bit extreme, so we'll take the exposure and turn it down a little bit to get the effect we're looking for, and that should be it. So now that's taking a photo that stylistically could be better served with a weathered aged photo look, and walking through that process. Until next time, thanks.